Sammy Snake says in words, hissing all the time. Sammy Snake says in words, hissing all the time. Hissing with a s, hissing with a s. Sammy Snake says in words, he's hissing all the time. Sammy Snake says in words, hissing all the time. Sammy Snake says in words, hissing all the time. Hissing with a s, hissing with a s. Sammy Snake says in words, he's hissing all the time.
Hello, how are we all doing? I hope everyone's really well. I hope you've had a great week. And yes, it's been a hell of a week. It's been a hell of a week, actually. Lots of stuff going on. A lot of good development stuff for us, and then a lot of weird stuff with alien worlds, like trillium prices going down. You can't get onto mine. Everyone getting banned. Everyone getting unbanned. Everyone getting banned again. So it's been a hell of a week. And yeah, I'm just glad to have you all here and glad to have another week of work done. And yeah, thanks to everyone that's been contributing to the community, helping give out the shovels, answering all the questions in general. We're now at over 1,600 members, which is really good. And I can just give you a quick update on how things are going, income-wise. So the income obviously has come down quite a bit because of all the problems that I've been having. So there's also seems to be a lot less Trillium available for people to mine, a lot more miners. So the total commission we get in the past 24 hours on these two lands on the RWCK account is 403. And then we've also gotten a run on the other account in preparation for the smart contract. So the number of mines actually has not come down that significantly. So we're doing still really well, and all this money, as I keep saying, is it's not going in my pocket. It's going into the tools and the funds and the the development to move this forward and grow and create cool stuff for you guys to enjoy. So I know a lot of you are. So let me just switch over to here. I know a lot of you are interested in the shared ownership, so I'm just going to get to that in a minute. What I would say in regards to the bans, if I know a lot of people have been successfully unflagged today, so it's nice to see. There was a lot of weird stuff being said, and all I'll say is let's not take things to heart, and let's try and understand different people's perspectives. So if you go onto other Discord servers or the official Discord server, be polite. There are real human beings behind the keyboard typing, so I know sometimes that we tend to overreact, myself included. The other day, I felt particularly upset and angry about a lot of people getting banned and maybe not considering that it's just a thing with the algorithm. So what I would just say is always be polite to one another, even if you don't necessarily agree with what someone's saying. That's just sort of a standard, isn't it? Right. How do I zoom in? There we go. Let's do it. Struggling a bit today. Right. So, a lot of you are interested in the land ownership scheme, and I'm going to try and explain how it works with some sort of diagram here, and then also I can go into the some of the maths behind what we're doing. So the first example I'll give is what happens when you mine. Well, when you mine on one of my lands currently, the total commission is 20%, and right now that 20% is it has been purely used on buying tools. So we're giving away a ridiculous amount of shovels, a ridiculous amount of drills, and it's sort of time now to maybe split that so that we're not taking away so much from people that are mining here and more letting them invest in themselves. So, so this is how it's going to work in that this 20% commission. So let me just make a few adjustments here. So that links up there, and then so that is 10%. That's 10% of your commission. That's 10% of your commission. And then if we take that and we copy it, and that's your 80% there. So I know no one's mining 1 trillium per mine at the moment these days, but I've just taken it as an example, at least for the diagram perspective of what, if you were to get 1 trillion per mine, 0.1 trillion would still go into the guild tool fund and to be used for other purposes, and 10% would go into this new land ownership fund, and 80% would go into your pocket as the miner. So what's going to happen is that automatically you are going to receive land ownership tokens from the commission that goes into this new land fund, and it's all going to be handled automatically thanks to Izzy21. Big shout out to him developing this smart contract. So a series of smart contracts, one for the tokens, these new snaky tokens that you will be able to get, and also the contract to automatically collect the data and your commission and distribute it into these tables, which then you get sent the snaky tokens. So if I got 1 trillion in my mine and I pay 10% of that automatically into the land ownership fund, you can see sort of here is this is all the commission rolling into the account, right? So every time someone mines, the commission goes into this account. So all the trillium starts to stack up. And what we do is we take half of that, because the commission is 20%, we take half, which is 10%, and we store it in a table. And at the end of every day, we'll be automatically paying out the total number of snaky tokens in comparison to the TLM deposited. So that total TLM commission, you end up with the same amount of snaky tokens, because 1 TLM equals 1 snaky, just to keep it very simple. So you don't need to do anything. All you need to do is just mine on our lands. And I think as a trial, when we launch this weekend, we will probably only do Neuron as the trial. And we would maybe do that for 1 or 2 days and see how it goes. And then we start rolling out all the other, planets, or lands, I should say. So what happens is, it puts your address into the table. It tells you when you've last mined, and the current is the amount that you've accrued before payout. So if you mine a couple of times and then it gets up to, let's say, 1 trillion, maybe you'd get paid out. And in the other column of this table, it tells you, well, how much in total have you received mining? How many snaky tokens have you received? Okay, so we're back. Oh, I'm going all over the place. Someone stop me. So you receive the land ownership tokens. For example, 0.1 trillion went into here. You get 0.1 snaky. Now, when we receive enough trillium into the land fund from everyone, so let's say at the current prices it's around 35,000 trillium, we will be purchasing a land. And based on the amount of tokens that you own, snaky tokens, in comparison to what the price of the land is, we'll work out what's your percentage share of that land. So essentially, the more snakies you have, the bigger share you have, and the more TLM you're going to earn in revenue when we move forward. So after we buy the land, we'll actually be able to see, as a sort of pie chart similar to this, is that who owns what percentage of that land. So all the addresses will be in here, and we'll know exactly how much each of you guys has contributed purely by mining. Now some of you might be thinking, well, actually, I want to invest my Trillium. I don't want to just use the automatic commission. I want to invest my Trillium. And what you can do is you can transfer the Trillium directly to that account, Sammy Snake 5L, and at the same exchange rate, 1 Trillium equals 1 Snakey, and you get the tokens back. So that's how you build up your Snakey. You can just take it easy and just mine your way. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to worry about it. And you're just going to accrue these Snakey tokens. Or you can deposit your own money. What I would say is, if you're thinking about depositing your own money, come speak to me first, especially if you're thinking about investing, a couple of $100 or something like that, a good amount of money. Please come and speak to me. I don't want people just, throwing money in blindly, thinking that this is a get-rich-quick scheme, because it isn't. The advantage of buying the land is actually your income over a number of years. I mean, the way that Trillium works is that it's distributed over a 5 or 6 year period. So the returns are going to be, once we mine up our way to the land and get the land, then that land is going to keep paying you back week after week for 5 years. And all the new features that get put on top of that, can we build hospitals? Can we build armories? Can we sell advertising on the land? It's all going to be split up based on what percentage of the land that you own. So this pie chart, the bigger piece of the pie, the more income that you're going to receive. And it's all proportionate. So, okay. So, let's see. Can I zoom out? I seem to have lost the ability to zoom out again. Don't know why I can't zoom out. Never mind. There we go. Okay, so when you own land, you earn Trillium per week. At the moment, the current state of the game, you earn Trillium in 2 ways. On the mining commission, which everyone seems to understand and know, because obviously you pay the commission every time you mine. So people mining on the land, based on some of the numbers that we were doing every day quite recently, I've sort of predicted that the mining commission would equate to, based on a 1% share, you earning 5 Trillium per week. Just based off of mining commission. And the other way to earn money if you own land is you don't need to do anything. The Galactic Federation, the owners of Alien Worlds, essentially, they pay you the daily Trillium allocation to landowners as a reward for owning land. So they pay you based on how much Trillium is staked to a planet. That affects the calculation, and how much is left in the total amount, the total reserve pool, and they work out what the allocation is. So they pay you every 2 weeks. It gets deposited into your account, and based on that, and based on the numbers that one land will pull you in, I'm again saying that you're going to receive around 5 Trillium a week for that, based on a 1% share. So that goes into your pocket, and you get 10 Trillium in your pocket every week. You don't really need to do anything. And then there's all these other features where we know that the Binance missions are coming, because of until we have enough money to buy the land, when these Binance missions are coming, we can lock up that large amount of Trillium for a month or 2, and we can earn a lot of interest and rewards that can be distributed back to everyone. And also, there's going to be incentives for people to stake TLM to lands when the planetary elections happen. There's going to be people deciding these new policies. So these are all going to be new ways for us to use that large amount of Trillium that we're accumulating for good, and you guys can earn interest on that, and that can be redistributed again based on your share. So, you know, all of this, and then all these other things like I've talked about, the future features, and I can't really include them in a calculation because I don't know exactly what's coming and when. So I don't know when we're going to be able to build hospitals of our own. I don't know when we're going to be able to sell advertising on our land. But I just know that they've been talked about. So, you know, all I'm saying to you here is, you know, you're going to be earning this passive income on the land that you own, and then in future, if we want to buy more lands, you can redeposit those earnings into a new land fund, and you can start all over again. So, do we have any questions? So CheckX asked, does our current commission work for this, or are we going to start from zero? It is built into our current commission. So out of the 20%, half of that commission, so 10% goes towards land fund, and then the other 10% goes into the guild fund, as it always has. But if you give snaky token to random miners, that is better? I don't get this. Imagine someone comes, mines for a bit and leaves and wonders why. Well, I mean, it's an incentive for people to mine on the land. You know, I'm not gonna enforce and say that random people that come across our land can't earn money and contribute. You know, it's for everyone. And you know, maybe eventually they'll realize, oh, why am I getting income? And then they'll come and visit the community, and they'll see like, oh my God, this is income that I've just been earning from mining. This is amazing. I want to be more of a part of this. What do you guys are planning for elder miners, people that stay on our lands for a long time? Well, we already do exclusive giveaways to elder miners. If you mine on the lands for a long time, then you're going to have a bigger ownership stake in these new lands. So that is your incentive to keep mining on the land. If you keep mining on the land, you're going to have that bigger share, and you're going to earn more money. So that's what it all comes back to. You can buy and sell snaky tokens to each other. You know, it's just like a regular token like Trillium. So how long have we been accruing these snaky tokens for? Currently, it will only start when I hit the start button. You know, so currently this is not being calculated because it's not fair if we're only going to do it on the RON, and I have just been accruing all of the things on the RON as a trial, then that punishes people that weren't mining on the RON. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, look, here's when I'm going to be launching it. We're going to do a trial on the RON, and you can mine on the RON to be a part of the trial. So you're saying, let's say we have 350 people, how much income we can get, like any predictions? Well, I have a spreadsheet that I can talk you through. I just wanted to get some of the, you know, the obvious questions out of the way. So it will only launch when I say, and I will give people warning of when it's launching. I'll give them a time and a date when I'm pressing the start button. What do I mean by trial? I mean, it is for real, except in order, like, I'm doing it going live in stages. Going live with all 3 lands on one account until I know what's going on is a bit of a risk. So I'm starting with the RON, and we're going to do a few days, and then we're going to come up with a plan of moving the lands over to that account. So initially, your commission in the RON will only be counted for this trial period. So the trial, after the trial period ends, all the lands will be moved. We'll probably do a staggered, so it'll start with Naron, Cavian will get moved, and then finally Neri. Where do I see my snaky token? So you can see your snaky token on blocks.io alongside where you actually see your wax and your Trillium. You will see a tokens and you will see snaky tokens. And then anyone can go and look on the Blocks website to actually figure out what percentage of the total share of Snaky tokens do they own? I mean, don't worry if you've not mined on the run yet. It's not been calculated. This is not started. This is just, yes, you keep your Snaky token after the trial period. This will start this weekend. I've not figured out the exact time and day yet, but I will announce it. Snaky token was created by the game or a Sami token. It is a real token on the Wax blockchain created by myself and Izzy. So the tokens they actually do exist. What when we suddenly need to change ID? Well, due to Flagger being banned. To be honest, it worries a bit that you're asking that question. Like, that's the first question that comes into your head, right? You know, when I get banned, where do I send all my tools and snaky tokens to? No, but to be fair, you can send tokens just like anything, like Trillium. You can distribute your tokens to other people, or if you want to use a different wallet, you can send your tokens to a different wallet. You can do that. Okay, so does anyone have any more questions? Okay, so we need to register again the new ID. There's no registering. This is what I'm trying to get at, is that you don't need to fill in any forms. You don't need to do anything. You just mine on the land, or you just send your Trillium to the account. Now, please do not send your Trillium to the account until I said that it starts, because I don't want to have to go through and send it all back. How do we acquire your music? Sammy Snake is hissing, yes, he's hissing all the time. Do, 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 do. Once the ownership program starts, does my commission? Well, no. So eventually, all the commission will be considered. What I'm just saying is, for a few days, it will just be Neuron. What happens after a land got bought is the percentage for the ownership of the player locked in. Can I trade that afterwards? If you can convince other people to sell you their snaky tokens, then you will have a bigger percentage share in that land bought. So at the time it is fixed. You earn a fixed percentage of that land based on your snaky tokens. But when you increase your snaky tokens, you increase your percentage share of that land. So if you can convince people to part with their tokens, maybe they need the money now. Maybe they don't want to wait, 20 weeks for you to get the income coming in week after week. Maybe they want a lump sum, and you could buy it off them for a lump sum of money and earn more money in the long run. Alien Worlds knows about this, or they will ban you and everyone for some strange reasons. The lead developer of Alien Worlds helped us with the smart contract and gave us a logic to make it possible. So he is aware that it's happening, although based on the support team, some of the comments that they've made about me earlier about how I apparently run some sort of huge botting racket, I can't guarantee that immediately they aren't going to accuse me of creating some new Ponzi scheme or whatever nonsense they're going to say for the first 2 or 3 weeks. I have no control over what people say. I just have control over the communication with you guys and these smart contracts, which you can look at yourself and you can figure out. And what I would say to you is, if you don't trust this program and you don't trust me, then don't do it. Don't send your Trillium to me. And that's the easiest way to do it. If you're not fully comfortable with the scheme, don't take part, and you can just mine the same as always. Where or how can we send Trillium on this project or convert it to Snaky token? When you send the Trillium to the account SammySnake5L, so just as you were transferring Wax to a friend, you would automatically receive back the Snaky tokens. Okay. So I feel like we've got a lot of questions, and some of them are kind of repeating. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just double check. Can you see this Excel sheet? I think you can. So again, I'm just going to take you through another example. Okay, so let's say you contributing 5 trillion a day in commission, and there's 100 of you. That means there's going to be 500 trillion a day in total commission. Let's say that the total contribution from an individual miner by the time we get to our goal of 35,000 trillion, you've contributed yourself 250 trillion, you will receive 250 snaky. You would have accumulated that over that time. So if the cost of the land is 35,000, it would have taken 140 days for us to get there. So what's going to happen is you will earn 35,000. There'll be the miners as a collective will earn 35,000 shares in the land. Now, what we need to do to keep this running, because there's costs of hosting the contract, there's costs of keeping it safe and making sure that no one's trillium is going to get lost, and adding new features. If we come up with new features, then the guild will be taking 10% of that land. So the shares will be diluted so that the guild owns 10% of the land and that 90% is owned by the individual miners. So what we do is we dilute the shares by adding an additional number of snaky tokens into the supply, and therefore there's a total ownership tokens of 38,889. So we have this dilution formula. And because of it costs money, and because we've got a lot of people dedicating their time to make sure this whole thing runs, then it's only fair that that percentage gets distributed upon them. So that's how this will be working. And if these percentages are not working, it's up for debate. This is just an example of what I'm saying. So after everything is said and done, there'll be 38,889 snaky tokens. That'll be used to purchase the land, and everyone will have a share. So in total, let's say that the total land passive income that comes from the Federation, we get around 611 trillion per week. There's a 61 trillion administration share that goes to the guild, that's that 10%, and then there's 550 trillion that goes to the miner ownership. So then we've got the total land income from the commission, people mining on that particular land. And let's say that is 600 trillion a week. And what we're going to do here is that 75% of that will again go to the miners, and that 25% of that will go back into the guild. Because if everyone just decides to mine on their own land, then the guild will no longer be able to provide tools for new players. So we want to at least have something coming back to the guild. You can choose to mine on your own land and save yourself a lot of money in the long run by doing so, but as a result, the guild will be taking, that 25% of that commission and using it to buy more tools for the new players, because that's how most of us are here. All new players that we helped get the shovels, we helped get the drills. Some of you still need the drills. All of that needs to come from somewhere. And like I said, I don't make a profit out of this. All of the money that I make from the commission gets reinvested back in. The only money that I take is my income for owning my land that comes into my account from the Federation. I take some of that money. And some of that money, so far, I've invested most of that money into buying new tools. So I've actually, put a lot more of my own money in to make sure that people have the tools. Right, so let's say you end up owning 1% of the land. Then, if you own 1% of the land, then you're going to end up with, let's say you're going to end up with 5.5 trillion from the passive income for the Federation. You're going to end up with 4.5 trillion from the commission, and you're going to end up with a weekly passive income of 10 trillion. And that it will take you, this many weeks for the land to pay back that trillion that you've effectively invested. So like I said, it's not an instant make money scheme. This is a long-term thing. It's about being part of the community, buying into the land, and banking on the fact that the Thunderdome is going to increase the price of the land. Because if we sell the land, and we decide to sell the land, and everyone agrees to, then based on your percentage share, you'll get the money. When we can build new businesses on the land, when we can advertise on the land, we can add these additional revenue streams. So this is a long-term investment. And if people come to me and they say, actually, Sam, that we don't want all of our commission being used for this land fund, then we can have a think about changing it. And maybe it won't be used to purchase the land. Maybe it'll just be a big reserve pool, like a bank, where you're earning interest for your Trillium. You can come and take it. You can deposit and withdraw at any time. There's other things that we can do. It's all up for debate. So I just wanted to give you some numbers here. So I'm seeing some debates here. I think he's saying that we could have a higher. No. No matter if anyone that mines on our land will get the percentage. Like, I'm not stealing from random people mining on the land that are not in the Discord server. No, I'm not doing that. That is not true. If anyone mines on the land very accidentally or for a bit, they retain their shares in the land. It's not some sort of weird profiteering off of people that are, maybe people are not comfortable coming on the Discord. Maybe they speak a language that's not covered in the Discord. There's not many people from that country. They were asking, why would you give out to randoms? Well, they mine on our land. Who do you think paid for all these tools that I've given away? Do you think it was all of us in the Discord purely? I don't think so. I know it wasn't, because I was earning commission, 200 a day in commission, 300 a day in commission before this all Discord started. So I don't think that I'm going to be robbing those people and not giving them back. I don't think it makes sense to take that from them. Like, they were here before a lot of people, and albeit that they don't even realize they should be rewarded. They have built this. A lot of the tools that we bought and gave away came from their mining, and that 20% I took off them. How does the share change over time? This would only work if you keep mining. No, because once the land is bought, then those are the only snaky tokens for that land. When it comes to a second land, we'll have another token. Maybe it'll be Snaky 2. Maybe it'll be Snaky Land. I don't know, a different name. What if other landowners stake 50%, let's say Monkey Mining, they will own the majority of the land, basically? Well, that's an interesting question, but at the end of the day, the account that controls the land is owned by me. So I don't think that someone like Monkey Mining is going to come in and put 60% or 70% of the total amount of Trillium needed to buy the land. I don't think that they would go and do that. To me, that doesn't make any sense, because at the end of the day, it's going to be, members in the community voting on what we do with it. So I don't think that they would do that. What if it didn't reach the 35,000 Trillium to buy land, or a few only invested? What will happen to this? That's another good question. So when the Binance missions are released, and when staking incentives are released, we can use the greater amount of money to generate more percentages, better proportions, so we can earn more interest on that money, and we can distribute that money back to the miners. What if someone decides to buy out all the shares with fiat outside the game? How will that affect just AW miners? Well, so they can only buy the shares with Trillium, like from the contract. People can sell them on the open market, but I don't think that I'm going to be creating an Alcor or anything like that. I don't think that I'm going to be selling the shares on the open market yet. Maybe that's a stretch too far at the moment. Let's just, we don't know how this is going to go. How will you be notified if you got the snaky tokens after you transfer the TLM? You will see it immediately on your blocks. So if you just refresh your blocks profile page, you will see the snaky tokens immediately in your account after transferring. After mining, it does take some time because you need to accrue up to a certain amount before payout by the end of the day. So you'll probably get paid out either daily or you'll get paid out once you hit one snaky token. It's not been decided yet. But again, we've got the options to tweak all of this. So I don't know if this is going to load. I think blocks is a bit slow to load, but I was hoping to maybe show you. The trial is how many days until it ends? So the trial, well, it's not really a trial ending. It's more of a phased launch. I feel like I'm regretting using the word trial. It's more of a phased launch. Phase 1 is Neron, Phase 2 is Cavi, and Phase 3 is Neri. So Phase 1 will start at the weekend. Oh, this is the wrong account. This is 55. It needs to be 5L. Can I suggest to delete the earnings of the land buying tools? I think this will slow the earnings of the tools that invested. So I think that's a bit unfair because what we're saying is, right, once we got our tools, I got my drills, I don't care about anyone else. Why don't we just wait until I receive my drills and let's stop the drill scholarship program that helped me get them. Let's just wait till I get my share and then let's screw everyone else. I'm not comfortable with that ethos. I don't know how other people feel. It's fine. See when I get my stuff. Let's just stop it. Let's just earn more money. Who's gonna care about all these miners with shovels, that pay for the majority of the commission on the land? Screw them. We don't need them. Let's say I invested 100 trillion in phase 1. Can I add more after the phase ends? You can only invest in a second land fund, or you can invest more money if you can convince someone else to sell their shares to you. So maybe we actually will sell shares on Alcor. Maybe you'll be able to trade your snaky shares on the open market. It's possible. What if people stop coming and everyone received the drills? I feel like that is incredibly unlikely. Like the amount of new members we get every day, I don't think that that's just going to suddenly stop. There's always going to be people that need more tools and that should be rewarded for being loyal. What we can do is we can have a conversation if the stats start telling us that we are not receiving any new players and we don't need to give all these tools away. We can decrease the percentage. It's not set in stone. Nothing is set in stone. It's all part of the debate. Can a whale essentially take the majority of the shares? Yes. Someone could just buy all of the shares if they wanted to. But that would be incredibly stupid on their part. I really don't see that happening. Like, if they had all of the shares to go and buy a land, why would they not just buy a land of their own and not have it sit in an account that only I have the private key to? That is madness. But the prices will fluctuate, wouldn't they? So the main price is 1 trillion to 1 snaky. What if it goes down a lot? Well, they're paired. So It's not. One trillium is always one snakey. They're directly paired. The exchange rate is always 1 trillion for one snakey. Right, let's go back to main. Land have 35,000 value max, and we have to share a percentage to have 100% of this value. And after, if we want more percentage, we have to buy Snaky from another player, if I understand. Yes, perfect. That is correct. Do you fear you will get invaded by bots? That's a good question. Not really, no. Like, if the bots are all mining on the land, eventually they're going to get banned by the algorithm, and the percentage that they own of the total land will be minuscule. For example, we already get the 35,000. What kind of land will you be buying? Again, that will be a discussion between all of the shareholders of Snaky tokens. So we'll organize meetings for people that hold a lot of shares, or everyone. There'll be meetings available for everyone. So everyone that owns any Snaky share, no matter how small, can come to that meeting and have their say. And we'll come up with a voting system. So if we need to vote on an important decision, we could create a Snaky vote token that is matched to the number of Snaky tokens you own, and we distribute those tokens for you to vote with, and then we have different accounts for you to send it to. So like yes, no, or maybe I want this land, I want this land, I want this land. You can vote with your tokens. Would it be possible to collaborate with the AW team to find banned.wam addresses from the game botting and stop them? Based on how our collaboration with the Alien Worlds team at the moment is going, I'm a bit doubtful. I mean, a lot of them explicitly said that I'm running a botting racket. So, yeah, I just, you know, if there was a way of doing it, I would definitely want to eliminate the bots. But the algorithm already eliminates bots from the system. If the bots want to help pay for the land, and then they get banned, and if it's a genuine ban, then we could always restrict. We could always put them on a blacklist so that they don't receive the shares. They don't receive the income afterwards if they get banned and they're a bot. You should have invited them here to see that it's not possible. All of the Alien World support team are members of the Discord. So all of them have had a look at the Discord. So a random stranger comes and mines Snami land but doesn't know what his snakies are, and then they quit the game. TLM goes to this ghost accountant. Yes. How will the bot know to where to send the TLM to? What they mean is the bot will be mining on the land and sending the commission to the land. To be honest, I don't know any bots that are mining on 20% commission land. Like, if I was botting, I don't think that I would be doing it on a 20% commission land. I'd probably do it on a 0% commission land. And if they wanted to earn the income long term from owning a percentage share in the land and use botting to do so, as soon as they get banned, I'm going to be able to see exactly who they are and when they've been banned, so I can just redistribute their shares if they've been banned and I investigate and I find that they've been banned legitimately, then there's the option of me redistributing their shares and not paying them out the income. So if I sell my share to someone else, they have the snaky, it will go into their account, right? Yes. Whoever owns the tokens earns the money. It's distributed based on your slice of the pie. If you earn more of the pie, if you have a bigger slice, you earn more. If you increase your slice, let's say this person over here, they earn 6.2% of the land. I'm going to buy them out. If you buy them out, you convince them to give you their tokens, then you own a bigger share of the land, and they don't earn anything anymore because they don't have any tokens. So you have that bigger share, and you earn that trillium that they were earning. How much is 1%? At the moment, it's hard to say what 1% is because we don't know the final price of the land. We don't know what the land price is going to be when we buy it. We don't know what trillium price is going to be. We don't know how the trillium price is going to scale with the price of the land. So all you know is how much percentage share of the tokens that you own. Eventually when land becomes worth more than 35,000 trillium, Snakey will have a higher value than 1 trillium. Yes, but actually that's a very interesting point. Yes, because if the land prices are so high and you own a share of that land, if that land were to be sold, you would earn a lot of more money on that land. So you could effectively sell your Snakey tokens for more than what you paid for it. That's a very, very good question, by the way. See, people are thinking about this and being smart and thinking, oh, actually, not just the fact that I could have ownership in the land, but my ownership stake can increase in value, just like owning shares on a stock market. Like that is smart thinking. And although I'm being very stupid here, and I'm calling everything ridiculous things like snaky tokens and all this nonsense, it's just to try and make it more fun and engaging for people that don't know this stuff. At the end of the day, we have a proper smart contract behind it, and we have calculations and equity schemes to make it run, but people just need to know that they get something for mining on our land, and they earn these snaky tokens. Can you explain what you were talking about? I joined late. Sure, we're talking about the new shared ownership scheme that's coming into place this weekend for mining on our land. That a percentage of your commission will be invested on behalf of you into a shared land fund, and when we buy a land, you will own a percentage share of that land and get paid out weekly based on the size of your share. Will there be something where I can see how much of the 35,000 trillium are already collected? Yes. You can see on the website how many tokens are in circulation. How much does it cost? Well, if you just mine on our land, it's essentially you're just mining as you do always, and it gets passed across. And otherwise, I'm just going to emphasize this. We're going to zoom in. There we go. So there you go. What one snaky means? One snaky is a land ownership token to represent a share in a new land that we would buy. We can convert wax to snaky token. No, you can convert wax to Trillium, and you can send your Trillium and buy snaky tokens. So you can just go onto alcor.exchange and exchange your wax for Trillium. It only takes you like 2 seconds, and then you just send that. I don't think that I'm going to be accepting wax as at this moment in time. I feel like it's so much cleaner to just have the Trillium. When we own a land, will we be able to earn Snaky 2 when mining on this land? Yes. How much is the minimum TLM investment per person? There's no minimum investment. Maybe I would do it for transfers, it would be 1 trillion. For transfers, I would probably set it that you would transfer a minimum of 1 trillion. But technically, by mining on the land, there's no minimum investment. If we mine so much we are able to buy a second land someday, how will it will be a separate token, so it will be Snaky 2. Naron, yes, Naron is the land for Phase 1, which goes live this weekend. And maybe a few days after, Phase 2 will be Calvian, and then Phase 3 will be Neri. Can I regret after a while and get my TLM back? We have plans to put a system for you to exchange your Trillium that you've deposited back for you can put your snaky tokens back in and you can get your Trillium back out. So we have plans to put that into the contract. Or you can just sell your tokens to someone else. I'm sure, based on what the reception that people have been giving me here, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people willing to buy the tokens off you. Are we getting a shared ownership of... No, you are only getting a shared ownership of a new unpurchased land. It's just too messy to give you percentage share in my personal lands. Because you never know what happens if I am in an real life situation where I need to get that money immediately. Maybe there's a family emergency. I would maybe need to consider selling one of those lands. And I would never do that without speaking to people, but I don't really want to then have to, of my own property, distribute up that to lots of different people. So to keep things clean, it will be a new land. You can disappear with our snaky. Well, I mean, that's the thing, is you're going to have to trust me. I will be the person with all of the access to the funds, but I would hope, based on your interactions and speaking with me so far in the Discord, that you know that I'm not really about that. Like, I have no reason to take that amount of money. I'm in a good financial situation in real life. I have a good job. Like, I don't really need... And I would never steal, but then also financially I don't need to steal. So there are two things. If you don't believe my morals, you can just believe that my financial situation, which you can probably guess judging by the fact that I already own 3 lands, that my financial situation is comfortable. Are you showing us that stats? How often will the profits be distributed? Daily, weekly, monthly? Probably weekly. All of this, everything will be transparent. You'll be able to see everything that's going on, all the money, how it's being transferred. It's all on the blockchain. Again, great example of wax, because it doesn't cost us anything to do the transactions, so we can do as many transactions as we need to make the whole thing as transparent as possible. Can you please make a tutorial about Colobox? Ita made a tutorial on Colobox. You can see it on our Colobox channel on the Discord. And also, I think he did a stream, which there's a VOD of. Will you become a streamer explaining crypto games to people? No, probably not. Like, when I stream, I can't play the majority of games because of my health. Like, it makes me feel very ill, and I pass out if I play games. I have like some rare migraines that I get, so these are the games that I play. I mostly play these sort of passive type things these days, and it's more of the community aspect that I do. How will I transfer TLM to fund? I hope there's going to be a guide on this because I don't know any of this stuff. Well, I can show you actually how it's done. So let's say I want to just go to wallet, right? And this one here. Actually, I'm not going to put it in the chat because people are going to send me Trillium, even though I've told them not to send me it yet. So I'm not going to put it in the chat. But you put in the Sammy Snake 5L. You put in 10 Trillium. So it would help if I logged in because so you'd use a drop down and you would see Snakey in this list. So you would see where's my Snakey gone, and you would send me 10 Snakey. No, what am I talking about? You're not sending me. I'm telling you the wrong thing. One idiot. You're sending me Trillium. You just send 10 Trillium to me. Yeah, sorry. So instead of you start off by wax. Don't send me wax. It's not gonna let you send me wax. Send me 10 Trillium or 1 Trillium, and then instantly it's gonna go back into your account. The Snakey tokens are gonna be put into account. Can you get copyright claim with a sneaky name? Let's say Sneaky. Well, this is Snakey token. This has nothing to do with Sneaky. I don't know who Sneaky is. It's a Snakey token. I don't think that anyone's going to copyright a snake. A snake is in the public domain. Also, it seems pretty stupid. I think I'm the only person stupid enough to base this whole thing around a snake. If I see it correctly, that would mean we would get 50% commission. If I see it correctly, that would mean that we get a 50% of commission Snakey tokens from Simon Snake Land and 12.5% Snakey. I would have to do the maths on that. I'm not sure just looking at that whether that's correct. So I can't say if that's correct. I hope that you also get some profit. I would feel bad you work so hard for all this. I do get a profit, guys. Like I'm upfront about the money that I make from the game. Like where's my diagram? The daily Trillium allocation to landowners. Like I own 3 lands, so I get every 2 weeks I get 3,800 Trillium. You know, that's my personal income from this game. Like I already bought these lands and I own the 3 lands. I can sell them anytime if I want. And on top of that, for just purely from owning these lands, even if all of you leave the game and don't mine on my land, I get 3,800 Trillium a week. I'm just upfront about that. That's how much I earn, and that's a little bit of passive income that I've got from these lands, and I got lucky buying them at a good price. What tools would he give for elder miners? We're going to develop our own automatic loaning system for tools, so you'll be able to pick a tool that you want to loan to buy, and maybe there'll be a commission of 5% on that, and you will just pay off the price of the tool over time. And it'll be automatically, the money that you earn will be automatically taken out of your inventory. But it's early days yet. We need to test that a lot to make sure we can actually do that. Shouldn't the land be kept separate because each one of them has a different type? Like some are better for mining TLM or some are balanced. Can you share? Yes, everything that I've shared I will be putting in the Discord. I'll be putting links in the YouTube VOD. I think you should vote, Paul, to see how many players who would join the investment. Well, I mean, everyone's going to be automatically joining from the mining, but yeah, I'll put a poll up and say, what do people think? How about renting tools contracts? Is that possible? Yes, it is possible. We are working it out. I think that 5% is too much. Don't forget that they already mine on your land. We need to charge 5% to make up for the fact that probably 20% of the people will steal the tools. So if none of the people steal the tools, that percentage will go down. But I need to pay for the fact that people will steal the tools. I don't think that it's physically possible for me to prevent people from stealing the tools. Does that land automatically? Well, yeah, we'll have our own NFTs in the future by mining on the land, and those are all features that are being worked on. What happens to the invested TLM if the worst case scenario happens and Alien Worlds shuts down either before or after the new land is purchased? I mean, that's just like investing in a business that goes bankrupt. But I mean, I would probably have a very good idea of whether Trillium was suddenly going to plummet or whether it wasn't going to be valuable anymore. And I will give my advice to people and say, this is heading in the wrong direction. I think we should sell our land and cash out. Will you be able to mine snaky tokens on the new lands also? Yes. Yes, you will. Yes, they will be snaky too, but it doesn't really matter what the name is. You're just earning a new token. The reason why the lands are not going to be kept separate and why they're all going to be on this scheme is because it's too much maintenance to have all these like 6 contracts, which is much easier to just have 2 contracts dealing with all this. Can we make TLM transfer now? Please do not make any Trillium transfer until I announce it. And if you are thinking of putting in quite a bit of Trillium, please DM me first, and we will have a conversation about it. I I don't want just people just chucking money in when they don't realize that it may take, as you saw in my spreadsheet, we're talking about like a lot of weeks for you to get a return on that money. Like if you need that money now, then don't put it in. I think From the Ron should be bought. New Land 1. If I'm honest, that would just take too long for us to be able to afford it, and also again, it's gonna cost us 3 times the hosting, and also I don't see the benefit of that. It's why then someone's like, wait, if I mine on Neri and I earn Snaky Neri, and then I go and mine on Cavian for a bit, I own a bit of Snaky Cavian too. Can I change my Snaky Cavian to Snaky Neri? Oh, actually, I need to mine on Neuron. I've got Snaky Neuron. I'll be, wait, which one do I got? How do I trade? Anyone want to buy my Snaky Neuron? I've got Snaky Neri. If you've got Snaky Neuron, I've got Snaky Neri for you. Let's just keep it simple. Does it have a minimum purchase on Sammy Talk? I would say just 1 trillion, honestly. 1 trillion. Wait a minute. Scratch card NFTs would be possible. I don't want to break the law, so I would be very careful about that because I don't have a gambling license. But if someone were to present to me a way where it wasn't gambling, then I would consider it. Poker tournament when, casino in the next couple of weeks, maybe. I don't know. It's all this stuff has taken up a lot of my time, but the first round of the casino actually. This is not a real gambling casino, by the way, guys. This is a loyalty program. So again, don't need a gambling license for a loyalty program, and you're not gambling your Trillium. You're gambling loyalty tokens you get from me. Aren't NFT card packs basically scratch cards? I mean, technically, yeah. I mean, you open a pack and then, based on if you get something rare in a pack, technically it is gambling. Yeah, so the casino, I'll maybe do some. I'll update people as soon as I get updates. I don't think there's too much work left with it. I think that as soon as my developer that works on it gets free, maybe this weekend he can do some more time on it. So maybe we'll see some more news at the weekend or maybe next week. Um, Poker tournament. Maybe I do it on a weekend. Maybe I do it on Sunday. Who knows? Depends how I feel. Like the problem is sometimes like with the migraines and stuff, I really don't feel well, so it's hard for me to commit to like a 4 hour poker session. Other lands in Nerian Carving commissions will be counted for snaky tokens. Yes, after we go live with the different phases. Phase 1 will be Neron. Okay, I think I'm a bit all talked out, to be honest. I need to have a little bit of a break. But so I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to upload the VOD, and I will be in the Discord later on if you do want to ask me any questions. I'll hang out in voice chat, but my voice is already getting a bit. I'm all talked out. So thank you very much for joining, everyone. Really appreciate all your support. Thank you for putting all your messages in the Discord, helping everyone out, and it's just been a really, really fun experience for me. So, and I hope all of you are enjoying it as much as I'm enjoying it, and love having you guys around. So, yes, thanks for tuning in. And if you do have any more questions, you can DM me.
Sammy Snake says in words, hissing all the time. Sammy Snake says in words, hissing all the time. Hissing with a hissing with a Sammy Snake says in words, he's hissing all the time. Sammy Snake says in words, hissing all the time. Sammy Snake says in words, hissing all the time. Hissing with a hissing with a Sammy Snake says in words, he's hissing all the time.